Lunch on the table, smoke rising like a halo. Passing to the left, steady moving like a payload. Couch got us sinking, thoughts got us thinking. Eyes half closed, but the vibe never blinking. We puffin' with the crew, yeah, the world moving slow. Clouds in the room, let the good times flow. Laughing till we choke, let the stress just go. Blazing with my brothers, that's the life I know. Ashtray full, but the bag ain't empty. Roll another up, that's the cruise assembly. Words getting twisted, tongues moving heavy, but the love in the room always feeling steady. Green dreams, we chase them, never feel away. Lifting off the planet, yeah, we in a better state. Voices blend together, all our minds relate. Smoking with the fam, call it fate, not debate. We puffin' with the crew, yeah, the world moving slow. Clouds in the room, let the good times flow. Laughing till we choke, let the stress just go.
Alrighty,
That might keep.
and hopping over in 3, 2, 1.
Come vibe with us. Drinks in hand, smoke in the air, and no topic off limits. Welcome to the Chill Hut, the ultimate 18 plus hangout where the conversation flows as freely as the drinks and the weed. Every week, we kick back and shoot the breeze on whatever is on our minds, from weird news and wild personal stories to stoner thoughts and deep late night debates. It's raw, unfiltered, and always a good time. Expect real talk, good laughs, and chill vibes. And once a month, we're joined by a guest to stir things up and bring their own flavor to the mix. Whether you're rolling up, winding down, or just looking for something real and offbeat, pull up a seat at the Chill Hut.
Welcome in, everyone, to the Chill Hut. Make sure blunts in hand, drinks are always flowing. Come have a good time. So today's whole entire podcast idea come from our amazing co-host, Immortality.
It's your boy.
Okay, so before we get fully started, I'll go ahead and tell you it is spooky stories. So if you like the weird, the macabre, the creepy, just think of it as we're the Adams family tonight, baby. We're simple as that. Let's do it right. Let's do it good. But immortality, I got a few questions for you,
Oh,
my kind
yeah.
sir.
What
Okay,
would that
we
be,
had
sir?
we had these first questions whenever we very first started the podcast, and you were gone during the podcast due to some what was it, storm issues.
Yeah, Zeus and Poseidon deciding to clash above my house, but it's all good.
Okay. So I got 8 questions for you in total.
Ooh.
So these are going to be kind of rapid fire, just to get them out the way, and then we can get to the spooky stories.
Alrighty. I
Cause
like the sounds of that.
all right, first question: favorite scary movie?
Saw.
Saw. Okay. Now,
Hold on. Which one?
valid question.
Probably Jigsaw. The the
Really?
the 3D Jigsaw, yeah.
Oh, hang on. Let's hold that. Put a pin in that because why is that your favorite movie?
So, consider me a weird specimen, but I enjoy gore in my horror movies. So, like, and it's like and it's like the mind games and the plot twists and just the overall story and how everything connects to the entire story of Saw. I just love it. Always have.
Okay. Um, does does any of the other hosts have these questions brought up, or do y'all just want me to ask them?
You can go ahead and do that. I gotta bounce out for like 2 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm good with you doing it.
Uh, so do you believe in supernatural immortality?
I do, as a fact.
Okay. So can you tell? Because our fourth question is, why do you believe in the supernatural?
Um, I would kind of be generic answer with kind of personal experience.
Okay. Is that all you got on that answer?
Um, Personal experience and a lot of like leaning stories on belief, if that makes sense.
Okay. Solid answer. Solid answer. Okay. Now here comes the real rapid fire questions. Question number 5. Where did you get your username?
Ooh, so back in 2022, in actually it was February 22nd of 2022. I went into the hospital and died for a couple minutes and came back. And obviously, me feeling kind of reborn in a sense kind of made me come up with the nickname Immortality. And it's a frequently used phrase in a lot of things. So I'm kind of just twisted it in my own way.
Okay. What got you in? Is that it on that one?
Yeah, pretty
Like,
much.
okay. What got you into content creating?
I've actually been content creating for a whopping 12 years now. I started when I started in Black Ops 2 when they first added their little broadcast live section.
Yeah.
So I can officially say I've been content creating since I was like 8 or 9 years old. So,
Okay. But like I said, what got you into that?
um just general um like influences.
Kind of like
I
peer pressure,
yeah,
without being peer pressured.
yeah. I watched a lot of YouTube. I still do. YouTube is kind of like my TV. So I kind of grew up wanting to do it because it wasn't Hollywood filmed movies or TV shows. It was stuff that people were making by themselves. And that's kind of what drew me into it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's it for that one.
Alrighty. Well, so the next question is, and this is a broad question, this is a question that you can answer. This can be movie wise, urban legend,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Now, if it's an urban legend that we don't know about, you will have to kind of explain.
Mm-hmm.
But what is your favorite monster?
Cerberus.
Cerberus? Okay. How did I know you? Jeez.
It's either a mix of Cerberus or um Megalodon.
Okay.
If you count that as one.
Well, let's see. The Megalodon. Hmm.
That you can see, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's where it gets
Okay.
you.
Valid point. Valid point. Valid point. And I'm gonna tell you, I got a lot of hate
Mm-hmm.
from one of our co-hosts the first episode because for two reasons. One, the scary movie I picked, which was Jason X.
Ooh.
He sat there and stated that that one was a bad one until I gave him good reason, which was because it was amazing kill counts, and
Yep.
amazing kill scenes.
Yep.
Okay, and now, so I'll tell you, the next question is, what is your favorite pie? And this is why I got the shit from a lot of people. My favorite pie is sweet potato pie.
That's not a bad choice, man. That's not a bad choice, but it's not my first choice. And I'm probably gonna get a lot of, I don't know if you would say backlash or agreeance, but I have to say the classic old pecan pie, however the fuck you want to say it, depending on what side in the world you're from.
That makes me
Alrighty,
think of
I'm back.
old school with the pecan pie. That makes me think of old school
Mm-hmm.
cookout. It's like during the
Yep.
summertime,
Yes, sir.
granny making that.
Yup. Exactly.
And to be honest, that's one of the hardest pies to get correct.
Yep. It is one of the hardest pies to fucking master if you're into baking, like baking pies and shit, that requires so much patience. It is insane.
And
Okay, which pie? Because I had come in halfway through.
Pecan pie.
you get
Don't mind me dying over here. I'm sorry.
Guardian, yours was weird, wasn't it? What was yours again?
sweet potato.
Oh yeah, sweet potato pie.
You're probably
you
a
were
generic
based
pumpkin
on
pie
cherry.
bitch.
Nah, he was
Absolutely
based-
hate pumpkin. I hate anything pumpkin.
If I remember correct, you said it was cherry.
Yes, I love my
That's
cherry
a
pie.
basic ass
Cherry.
pie too. That's the dad
Okay,
pie.
and
That's the fucking
Yeah.
dad pie.
and I'm a dad.
Strawberry
So
rhubarb over here.
Yeah.
What was
We
that,
love
Queen?
strawberry rhubarb.
Ooh.
And that's a good pie too.
Strawberry rhubarb.
I'm
That's
just
actually
not
not
a
bad.
dessert kind of guy. Really?
Okay, but here's something that a lot of people don't know is pecan pie is actually the best to eat whenever you're diabetic because the
Mhm.
sugars are natural and very low.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And bring up nuts and the boys don't leave the subject alone.
Oh, my sister says apple.
Apple. That's
Yes.
that's basic white people stuff right there.
Damn. I mean, she is white. She lives in Kentucky, so makes sense.
Get the pumpkin spice now.
Alrighty.
What?
Any more of
She
the
says it's America's pie.
it's Marcus pie. I
I
mean, nah.
No. So we're gonna take a little pause right here. We finished the questions here. So leading to this segment, I'm going to pass the floor over to Immortality because he's the one that brought up this segment that honestly really piqued all of our interests. So Immortality, you're going to take the floor and you pass the mic, you pass the smoking blunt whenever you want it to be passed.
Did we
Okay.
explain to the people what the smoking blunt is?
But that's for Immortality to explain what that is. He
So
is he's being the host.
pretty much what the smoking blunt is if anybody in the United States has grown up in any sort of childhood, you would know the game Hot Potato. It is pretty much that, but your goal is, or not really your goal is, but you're pretty much if you have the blunt, floor is yours. Plain and simple. And if you want to pass the blunt off to somebody else, go for it. And if somebody wants to ask for the blunt, I feel like that's okay too. In a sense, you know.
And I'll break down the codes. I'll break it down a little bit more so everyone can understand. But you got if you feel like somebody may be taking a little too long, and you want to
Yeah, don't be babysitting that shit. Don't be babysitting
don't
it.
be chiefing it. Don't be chiefing on that shit.
Don't be
Alright.
babysitting it.
Yeah, puff puff pass.
Exactly.
Um, with that being known, make sure all of us are staying hydrated and everything.
Yep.
And with it still being June, before we get too far into this, men, do not. I want to get this out there real quick and everything. Mental health is key. I'm sorry to take the floor from you, but I'm lighting the blunt right now,
Yep.
getting it ready for you. But mental health is key for everyone. So I want y'all to remember, if y'all feel any kind of way, if you're military, civilian, man, woman, teenager, child, if you are feeling that you are having a bad moment, the crisis hotline is 988. You can call and text. You can have that anonymous feeling, or you can get a hold of somebody that reaches deep down and talks to you. You really never know. But remember, no matter how big or how small you are, mental health is number one in a lot of people's minds. It may not be in yours, but remember, your friends always need you. You need your friends. Make sure to make that call. Now, who would want to say anything else on this? Who wants to do it?
I actually have a like basically all the numbers for that shit. So for well, okay, so this is some of these are for fucking shit. I can't speak. Some of these are state based, but for like national domestic violence, if you happen to be going through a rough patch in your marriage or relationship, and domestic violence does happen, and it happens both ways. It's not always just the guy beating up on the girl. There are a lot of times where it's the girl beating up on the guy. You can call 800 799 7233. Call that number, get the help you need. Do not take that abuse. And like he said, 988 for the suicide line and for the crisis lifeline. And they are 24/7. Both of those numbers are 24/7. Call them as soon as you have those issues. Chris. Sorry, give me one moment. I gotta yell at a buddy of mine who is being an asshat in the chat right now. Chris, this is a serious moment. Quit being a dumbass.
And one more thing.
And I can.
One more thing to add to the whole mental health thing. If you don't even feel comfortable calling those hotlines that you may feel like they don't do anything, or they're not for you, just know you always have some sort of friends or family that you can always go to. It doesn't matter whether they're blood related or not. If you have that one close friend, have a talk with them. If you have anybody that you're fucking close to, talk to them. And if they kind of, if it seems like they're slipping, kind of reach your hand out and help them up, if that makes sense.
Exactly. So now going from the start, we're going to pass this nice blunt over to Immortality to start us off tonight.
Alrighty.
Nice Snoop Dogg size blood.
I'll gladly take this one.
Hey, listen, just for comparison for the chat, this blunt is the size of King Kong's finger in diameter and as long as a giraffe's neck.
So I'm glad you went with finger, because you said the size of King Kong's, and I was like, oh god, he's gonna say schlong or some shit.
Get your mind out the gutter, boy.
Listen, all
is
right,
how long
I'm
we've
drinking.
been this whole time since we started with the pie.
What?
Dirty-minded, that's where my mind has been since we started talking about the pies.
I like pie.
Queen, you've been on something this week, like Jesus Christ.
I like pie.
Your point?
Queen's lost her damn mind.
Oh, I lost that 13 years ago.
I'm just waiting for someone to put some kind of like The Rock thing in the chat.
Hey, Immortality's got the blunt. He's got the floor.
All right, so to start us off with tonight's topic in being horror stories, I will start us off with a personal story of mine regarding a quote unquote supernatural event that I would say I can firmly believe happened and have seen with my own eyeballs. So I came home from work one day. Came home, just winding down. I went into my little smoke room, trim me up some bud, and just started chilling out. Right. Couple seconds go by. I hear the stairs right next to me make like a footstep creak, if that makes sense. So I'm sitting there just trying to load up my bong, just load up my hit and all this other stuff. And me and my wife and my coworker are talking, because my coworkers stayed the night with us that night. So we were just grinding up some. I go upstairs to take a piss. Come back down. I sit down in my normal spot. And next thing I know, the light in my little laundry room in the basement. Granted, it's an unfinished basement, okay? No walls. Like, the only thing is the concrete support wall in the basement. So it's pretty fucking eerie down here. And I just minding my own business, glaring off into space, about to take my hit. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the laundry room light turn off and come back on, and then turn off again and stay off. As soon as I look over, the glare from the light from the little living room section of the basement lights up perfectly right where we can see the door. There's a crawling shadow figure. And I shit you not, this thing was like the Flash. I swear to God, this thing was quick. Because as soon as I look over, it literally scurries around, like does a little, like 2 circles, like a fucking dog would, and then just fucking bolts up the stairs. And I shit you not, I have not felt a like, you know how you feel that your hair standing on the back of your neck when you get like, you feel like something's watching you? I shit you not, I've never felt something that like deep before. I don't know what is here, but I know something's here. That's all. That's gonna be that aspect. My first story of the little horror segments here. I'm actually going to pass this to Fallen.
Ugh,
Mis-
me.
I'm gonna pass this smoking blunt over to Mr. Fallen and we can see what kind of horror stories this little man
Well,
has.
Wow, little, huh? Well, first of all, I'm going to set the blunt down and grab my glass of whiskey because I can't smoke. But so mine, back when I was 18, I got really heavy into the like supernatural and shit like that. And me and a couple buddies, we were like, "Oh, we know this old nursing home that's completely abandoned. Uh, it's a town or a city next to my hometown." So we decided to go and explore it, and we're sitting there. It's 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we brought extra stuff, some drinks and stuff like that. And it's starting to get late, and there's nothing's happening. Right, we had been there for like 3 4 hours. Nothing was happening. We were like, okay, this is starting to get boring. We're like, you know what? Let's stay the night here. Let's run over to the subway, which is literally like 600 700 yards down the bike path from this abandoned uh, nursing home. So we go there, get food, and as we're walking back, like it's 9 9:30 about now. So it's dark, and we just get this eerie feeling that something's watching us. It I don't know if it was just us or what, but we get back to the nursing home, and it's creepy as hell in there. This nursing home has been abandoned for 20 25 years probably. Um, and we're sitting there just in one of the old rooms. We had pulled a couple of the old beds into that one room so that we all had something to sleep on. Probably not a good idea because who knows who possibly had died in that bed. But we're just sitting there, and we had made sure like all the doors were closed except for ours. Right around midnight, 12:30, one of my buddies had woken up, and because he said he heard like a door creaking or something. He woke us all up. He was in the middle of cold sweat. He was freaking the fuck out. He's like, I'm hearing shit. We're like, oh, quit being a baby. He's like, no, let's go look. I need to go look. So we're like, all right, let's go look. We walk out into the hallway, and immediately we notice that every single door that we had shut was cracked open. And we still to this day, we don't know if one of us was fucking with each other or something had actually cracked open those doors. But as soon as we saw all those doors open, we were like, no, this something is not right here. And we started freaking out, and we started heading towards the front door, and we were hearing like rocks being thrown across the ground the whole time we were leaving. And we just freaked us the hell out, and we decided we're not staying here no more. We left and went home. And that's creepiest thing I got. Really. Um it was a fun time. I really want to go back honestly cuz I think I can actually toughen it out for the rest of the time. And I would absolutely love to see if maybe there is something actually supernatural going on there. But yeah, that's my spooky story. Not very spooky, but scared the shit out of me and my friends.
Okay.
So I guess I'll
Can I,
pass. Do what?
can I mention one thing real quick?
What's that?
So, stories. How do I word this? When it doesn't happen to you directly, it may seem like it's not scary or that things are maybe not as you would think. But when it's
Right.
something that happens to you personally, like you got to remember that person went through it and it was real for them.
That was a spooky ass experience. And it wasn't like we did a whole lot. We literally sat there and talked shit, listened to music, and that was it. Then we went to sleep. And then we woke up and the doors were fucking open. And we had shut all of them.
And I know, like personally, I've had experiences like that. And when you're watching it like on a TV screen or hearing about it, you don't think of the what's going on in the moment when you're in that atmosphere and in that place with it happening. But once you experience it yourself, you realize how scary it could have been to that person in that moment.
Yeah. And like the thing that really got at least me going was, I know with air pressure and shit like that, that if there's like a window open in a certain area, it could actually pop open the door. But for every door to be open, that after we had shut them all, that wasn't air pressure. That's something completely fucking different. Yeah. So I guess I'll go ahead and pass the blunt. I'll hand it over to Guardian here. Let him tell his spooka story.
Yeah, give me a minute. Just got to deal with some difficulties on my end for a second.
In the meantime, everybody watching live or watching this in the future, make sure you guys hydrate. Make sure you guys get a snack. Self-nutrition is important. Make sure you stay hydrated.
Yes, hydrate, don't dehydrate.
All right. So the way that this is, we're actually going to skip Queen because she's got a decently long one, but so we're going to wind up passing back and forth between me and Immortality and Fallen quite a bit. So if we were going off the scariest story, it would have to been 2000 and 2009 ish. Maybe late 2008, early 2009 ish. I can't remember exactly. But me and a bunch of my friends, we were up at Summersville Lake here in West Virginia, which is a man-made dam who sit there and um, it wound up, whenever they made the dam, it wound up flooding, if I'm correct, 3 cities. And then wound up making a campground and everything around this. And there was one night that me, a couple of my friends, and my cousin, we were down by the lake area. It was 2:30 in the morning. Like we were a bit intoxicated, but we weren't so gone that we would hallucinate anything. But we wound up seeing this woman in an off-white dress, like it's been smeared through the mud, or destroyed and stuff like that in a dirty manner, and she was crying. Well, we start to run after me, and because we're all guys, like we want to help her out. And as we're running, she just disappears. And we start looking for her, trying to find any trace of her. Only thing that we could do was find footprints. And all of us are wearing either tennis shoes or boots because we didn't wear flip flops. And we weren't going to run barefoot around that area because there was known to be copperheads. So the next night, we go back to that area to see if we could find her again. On the opposite side of the lake, she appeared and she was crying. And then we heard this god awful scream and then a loud splash. And it looked like a body was floating on top of the water. So here we are, a group of 16, 17, and 18-year-old boys. We didn't want to be a part of this shit, so we fucking dip out, but we run straight to the park rangers, let them know. They go out there, they don't find nothing. They send divers, everything. They shut off that lake area. And we explained. It was on top of the water like it had just came up, like the body just bloated up and everything. And for the week that we were there, we had occurrences like that the whole entire week. And the park rangers actually, one of the park rangers, Ranger Dan, you're fucking amazing. Hope you're still working there. But he told us that there was a lady that died there during the building, well, the flooding of the areas. Her house was a little shack, and she lived out in the like way out in the countryside because her kids died making the dam, and she decided to live out there, and it killed her basically. So yeah, that's my scariest story.
It's pretty interesting there, bud.
And that leads into the urban legend, the lady of the lake or the lady of white, depending on which one you want to go on the side of.
Mm-hmm.
So this goes back to immortality.
Alrighty. So for my second little spooky story here, um, it's another supernatural esque type one. Um, so couple of days ago, or not days ago, couple of weeks ago, during that entire like storm parade shit that I was dealing with when I couldn't make it the first time. Um, so we have candles around just because in case of that.
Can I chief the blunt real quick,
Go
just
for it.
for a moment?
Go for it.
Soapy the Death Knight, I know you're watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'm shouting out his Twitch channel. He's currently live and he was watching us.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. So I'm gonna pass that back to you. I thought you'd love to know that.
Hell
Another
yeah,
content
man.
creator. Oh,
That's fucking sick. Alrighty. So on the celebratory note of more eyeballs, so as our house was kind of fighting, holding power from that storm, I had an instance around, I think it was like at 10 o'clock at night, that night when the power went off. We had the candles all candles lit in different places throughout the house. Um, all so my dad is a AC freak. He's like he's like one of those shut the damn door kind of dads. So we make sure all of our doors are sealed, right? There's like no air coming through. All the windows are closed. No like air possibly getting into the house. So I'm going and just pacing around, throwing some darts because no power, can't really play anything on the computer. And smoking. So as I'm over there, kind of just pacing around, I noticed the flame on the biggest candle starting to bounce. Right? You know how like it starts doing the little fire dance. So when it started doing a little fire dance, something triggered in my head to say, "Spirit, stop." Whenever I said that, immediately after, it stopped doing the fire dance. And it's went off of that candle and went on to the candle in the other room and started doing the fire dance there. And every time I would say stop, it was playing with me. It was literally going from candle to candle, just playing with the candles. Just playing with the fucking fire. And I didn't know whether to be scared or laugh at it, like a holy shit moment, because I was like, I just talked to a spirit with fire, you know? So like I don't know what uh emotion I guess I could say I was going through at the time. Adrenaline was definitely one of them because it was like a holy shit moment. Fear was there because as soon as I said that, I got them like that hair standing up on the back of your neck feeling. Like somebody was sitting there watching me. I always all right. Um, but yeah, it was just a weird kind of scary uh moment to have literally saying please stop and it literally stopped, and then you look into the other room and the other one's sitting there doing the thing that you just said to stop. So that was cool, crazy, scary, whatever you want to call it. um I have a lot of the little shorter stories to tell if that's okay with everybody out in chat. um so I will have a more quantity of them, but the quality of them will be a little bit on the lesser side. So I'm going to go ahead and take this moment to pass the blunt back to Fallen for another little spooky, sketchy little story.
Well, since you can't take the blunt, I'll ash it out for a moment and pour him a new shot of whiskey.
Yeah, how about that?
I like that.
How about that?
So I know I didn't really ask you guys this. Are we planning on are we still wanting to do my idea where we do a Florida man nidbit every podcast?
Did you find one this week?
I found one, yes.
How long will it take?
Not long, it's a shorter one.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
This one's very short. So this one, Florida woman calls for Sugar Daddy Appreciation Day at board meeting. This was March 10th. A woman took the podium at a planning and zoning board meeting with an unusual request. Accompanied by an older gentleman, she asked the board to designate March 10th as Sugar Daddy and Mommy Appreciation Day. Guys may not be aware, but Florida has the largest per capita, I believe, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Capita population of sugar daddies in the U.S., she said, pointing out that South Florida has the most concentrated populace of these aged benefactors. Board members seemed puzzled by the request. I have no idea. That's all I got. I have no idea if it was accepted or denied.
Woman legit was like, okay, people who waste their
Let's
hard
celebrate
money.
sugar daddies.
Well, I'm surprised
Oh.
that she added sugar mommies in there.
Yeah, right? No offense,
It's all
but
about equality.
say no offense,
Hang on,
but
hang on.
I don't know any woman who's paying for shit.
We gotta ask the chat on that one or what they think of that. If you really, like, chat, do y'all think
What?
that that should actually be a national holiday?
I'm gonna be fully honest. Considering I think the chat is my mom and my sister at the moment.
No, we have we're up to 4 viewers on
Right.
on
Um.
YouTube. We just need one of them. We at least need a vote.
My sister says, "Why not? There's a National Flip Flop Day."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's a
That's
National
coming from
Taco
my
Day.
older sister. There is a National Taco Day, and it's actually one day a week. It's called Taco Tuesday. It's the greatest day of the week.
Both you and my wife
Changed my
said
mind.
that at the exact same fucking time.
That is fucking wonderful.
I'm scared now.
That's great.
There's a
Wavelengths.
there's a national blank sucker day. If you catch my drift.
Oh,
I know this is 18 plus, but I still don't know if YouTube would let me say that word.
let alone Twitch.
Yeah, but
Uh,
let's just say it's a national sucker day.
Jesus Christ.
National Siblings Day. There's a day for everything now, apparently, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So I guess chat on YouTube side doesn't want to vote, but I would say.
Yeah. Ooh.
I would say
I don't know, but we
nothing
just jumped
than
2
that.
viewers.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. Good shit, good shit. So
It's
in
all
order,
about the
They sensed the eater. They sensed
Yep.
it was like, hold on, I want to join.
Nope, the sussy backers out there heard the eater. They said, "Who? I want to join."
Hello there.
Hello there.
Oh shit.
we have a total of 9 viewers.
What?
all platforms.
What is going on,
Well,
everybody?
I'm at 6 right now on Twitch.
Just dropped down to 5 on Twitch.
Oh, did it? Oh.
Yep.
Okay. But okay, so
Well, I was going to do a blinker for that, but we dropped down, so I'm saved.
ah,
Yay.
damn.
He's not gonna regret
If
life
we hit
choices
9
again.
or above.
He's not gonna regret life choices again.
Yep. Well, hold on. I feel like I can change that real quick.
Yo, somebody gave us a like on the YouTube side. Thank you very much,
Let's
whoever that was.
go. Ha ha ha. Yes. Since the disturbance in the force. So to go on to my other spooky story, since we did a little Florida man thing real quick. My mom can testify for this. Back in our old house that burnt down a few years ago, I believe I told this. I don't know if I told this story on the podcast or not, but when I was like 7, maybe 8, it was a DVD VCR combo, and we had a Blu-ray player that sat on top. All the remotes were on top of the Blu-ray player. Well, we're sitting there watching a movie one day, and the Blu-ray player ejects. We're just like, what the hell? Okay, somebody sat on the remote or something. I'm like, no, all the remotes are on top of the DVD player. Like, oh, we're just like, oh, okay. I get up, I push the button. Yeah.
Soapy just requested a blinker.
Ruh-roh. I can do a shot, so I guess I'll do a shot. You do a blinker. Anybody else doing a blinker?
I can chug.
Ignore the background.
I can do a.
Oh.
I can half chug a Smirnoff.
Okay.
I won't do a blinker, but I'll do a hit.
Oh,
Alright.
oh no, there's two. There's two. Alright, everyone, please ignore my background. I'm in a situation where I don't have the perfect background. So
Oh,
set
hello.
a timer. Like I said, today's episode is brought by Cherry Vanilla Sky 5.
We have 2 people on YouTube requesting blinkers.
Yep.
And Pineapple Express.
Southern Comfort
Someone
Welcome
set
in,
a timer
everybody.
out
for
of Daddy's sippy cup.
Someone set a timer for 6 seconds. I gotta do this.
Nah, you gotta count
Alright, someone count us down.
it.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And death.
I'm out of whiskey.
Guardian's dying.
Oh.
Fallen's about to be drunk off his ass.
This cup.
We have a
When I hopped in here, it was up to here of whiskey.
we have a hell of a podcast going on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's enjoying.
Yes.
Everybody on the YouTube side, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're brand new to the podcast channel. We are live every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And for everybody Twitch side, don't forget to hit that follow button. Go ahead and type away in chat. We'll answer any questions you guys got as long as they're appropriate.
Any requests
and
that
yeah.
you guys would like,
Any-
any stories you guys would like to share, feel free. We are wide open to talking to our community. We love talking to you guys.
Cora, no. Can I have $5?
Make sure someone clip that, please.
Yeah, we'll be able to clip it and post. But
What
yeah,
were you saying
so-
before, Guardian?
I was saying it's Sophie. You started this. You made me see Jesus.
He makes him see the sparkles in the outside of his eyeballs. All right. Fallen, I still believe you have the glass, sir.
Yes, I do. Granted, the glass is empty now, but
Yeah.
I will refill it after the story. So to finish out my story, the Blu-ray player had ejected. I got up, I pushed it back in. Keep in mind, all the remotes are on top of the Blu-ray player. I had pushed it back in, went, sat back down. Another 5 minutes later, the Blu-ray player ejected again. We were like, okay, weird. Also, this is like right around when Blu-ray players came out, so we're like, oh, there's something finicky with it. It's a new device. Woo. So I go back up, push the button, it goes back in, and as it goes in, the DVD player underneath ejects. I'm just like, okay, what? Now I'm utterly confused. So then I push in the DVD player, and then the Blu-ray player ejects. I'm just like, okay, what the fuck's going on? My little 8-year-old mind is freaking out at this point because I'm definitely not pushing the buttons, and it's just doing this shit on its own. And I pushed the Blu-ray. I physically pushed the disc tray in this time, and nothing else happens. And I just Like, I sit there for a minute, I wait, nothing happens, everything stays shut, and that was that. Freaked me the fuck out. Said my mom should be able to back my story up on this. She was there. It was freaky as fuck. If mom is still in chat.
And ever since then, he's had PTSD from DVD players.
I don't own a DVD player.
My
And
point
that
exactly.
led to the whole PTSD thing.
My only DVD player I have is my Xbox One.
Yeah, and I'm gonna wind up.
Means you do have a DVD player.
Yeah.
I don't own a DVD. How about that one?
I'll just hack it.
I-
I can start going ding 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 ding.
I don't even own an Xbox One hard copy of the game anymore.
Just imagine ding 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 ding. ding.
The
Yeah,
fucking
no.
Having a
turn
really
off.
good Call of Duty match and your disc gets ejected.
Oh my god!
I would be pissed.
I have
Hey,
an Xbox. It's
Y'all have
not-
kids. Y'all actually have that possibility of happening.
What you mean?
Yeah. You know how you fix that? They do it to you once. So the next time they're playing a game, you do it to them. It fixes it real fast.
Oh, I was just gonna say hang them upside down by their toes, but okay. Yours is a little better.
No, that's not funny.
Hey, listen, I got threatened with that all my childhood. Okay, I'm gonna threaten my kids with it. I'm never gonna do it, but I'm gonna threaten my kids with it.
I'm gonna threaten my kid with just silence.
Silence is the best answer.
Just look at her and give her silence. Just be like, no.
I'm gonna
Okay.
threaten my kid with not going to the drag strip. That's what I want to threaten my kid with. All right, Guardian, the blunt is yours. I'm gonna go refill my glass because it is dry and I don't like it.
Okay, I got
Threaten my
kind
kids
of
with a Minecraft movie.
this one's kind of a funny story that really spooked with me. And it leads to the vibe of the chill hut in itself of being like a smoke and drink and relax in this area. Very first time that I experimented with smoking high end strand from California.
Mm.
My homie came to me, was like, listen, he handed me a J. It was like, smoke half, no more. Man, I've been smoking too long. I'll smoke the whole damn thing if I want to. I didn't listen to my homie. I had an Xbox that randomly would eject the disc. Like it would fuck with me. I don't know if it was some kind of electrical failure that the system had or a sensor failure or something, but it would randomly spit the disc out. And it would sit there and do it at random intervals. So I smoked this whole entire thing, and I'm in the middle of playing Fallout 4 with horror mods on. And I wound up getting jump scared so fucking bad that I threw myself out of my computer chair onto the floor and scrambled to the living room going, they're coming after me. So yeah, kind of funny, but an explanation that I could never give is because once I moved out the house, that Xbox quit doing the disc spitting out. So that could be a horror story there as well. I just don't know.
I came back to that story in a lovely time.
Of course you did.
Well, yeah, you on the
So-
floor yelling.
'Cause you never listen.
No, because I was in the kitchen filling my glass back up.
You're supposed to have it by your side.
Yeah, you're supposed to keep that bottle handy.
Hmm.
I ain't got a
Everything
fridge
you need
right next
right
to
next
me.
to you.
I ain't got a fridge right next to me. I gotta keep my
And get a
shit cold.
teleport system.
Yeah.
If I was, you think if I had a teleport system, I would be as broke as I am?
Yes.
Use the power of your mind.
Telekinesis is, I think it's what it's called. Or the
If
force.
I had a teleport
Or
system,
the force.
I would
One
be a
of the two.
multi-millionaire. Fuck.
Okay, so immortality. Do you have any more stories?
I can ow. Um I can come up with one, or I can not really come up with one more, but I can think of one more. But I was just thinking of the question towards Queen of how long is said story? Like, I'm kind of
It
curious. And I'm pretty sure everybody out in chat and wants to know, how long is this story gonna take?
it'll take a little bit. Because my story spans, if you look at the main part of it, about 6 months of time.
All trying to
And
fit
there's
into an hour.
So hold on now. We only got an hour left. We ain't got
Yeah.
6 months here.
but
If you're gonna do that, do
in
it
real
on
life,
your YouTube channel.
but what I'm saying is the time span that it happened in was 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of aspects to it, and there's a lot of different little stories within it that breaking it up would only make it more confusing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say mine would take an hour. Maybe like half hour or 45 minutes if I go into a lot of detail. But I'd say like a half hour.
Okay, okay.
Well, I was going to say if we're done with that for now, we were going to I'm going to pass this. I'm going to pass the blunt over to Queen, but I'm going to start this off with leading her story with. This is what you do not do when you are fucking with the supernatural. The amount of fucks around equal the amount of finding the fuck out.
And there
So
is
with
also
that, with
there is
that
also a
note,
warning.
yeah. With
There
that
is a
note,
God.
stop it.
I'm trying to talk. Damn it! Fuck.
I was in the middle of talking.
Yeah, and I keep thinking you're done.
No, I'm not. I'll tell you
God
what
damn
it
it!
is. But for that, make sure if you are doing the supernatural stuff, make sure to get in contact with people that have done it before. Now, it is your turn.
Just a warning. There will be some not so great things in the story. And at
Yes,
any
there,
time,
there
if
are
you
sensitive topics.
yes, anytime if you are uncomfortable, feel free to hop out or mute the live stream. I mean, there's not a whole lot going visually, but yes, if you feel uncomfortable, 100% feel free to hop out for a little bit. And we will not hold it against you for leaving because you're feeling uncomfortable. Now,
Yes,
on that, go ahead.
yes, and with that, I was going to warn that there's definitely some sensitive topic with this, but I will do my best to try and keep those little tidbits short and to try and ease around them a little bit. Um, so Mine started in, let's see, what year is that? About 2015. Yeah. August of 2015. So there's a abandoned farmhouse that is very close to where I grew up. If you went onto the freeway at all, you were going right past this place. And the land had been for sale for as long as I can remember. And it still is for sale. So you're looking at probably at least 30 years. And I had a friend who wanted to do, or he had done some ghost hunting. He knew I was interested in the paranormal, that I had done a couple little things on my own that were innocent enough and stuff. So him and I were trying to think of a place to go. And I thought of this abandoned farmhouse. And I always had a draw to it. Like, I could be in my head as we're driving down the road, and as soon as I got close, it was like my focus went right to the building. All my life. So I suggested there. And it was a bit of a walk from where we could park and stuff. On this property, the original property, because I actually ended up doing a bunch of research on it. So, on the property, you have a sub-power grid, a cemetery, limestone, a swamp area with a creek going through, which are all conductors for the supernatural. So we found that information out. But we went there, we explored it. Seemed really cool, so it's like, okay, we'll come back at night. Came back out at night, ended up getting a lot of little evidence and stuff. About a week later, I was there with two friends, and they were on one side of the barn, and I was on the other side, and I was standing right next to the door where they bring the hay up. And up until this point, I never had a fear of the paranormal, of the supernatural. It was always an interest, never had a scare with it. So they're on the other side of the barn, and I'm about a foot away from the wall, and about a foot away from the hay door, so that they can bring the hay up to the second level. And I felt a thumb right in that like soft spot where your neck meets your shoulder, and the four fingers wrapped down underneath the bottom of my shoulder blade on my right side. Which that's not a human hand. And I was actually pushed back and held against the wall. And that lasted, it felt like minutes, but it was probably only like 10, 15 seconds. That was the first time I was ever, or had any fear or showed any fear of the paranormal, which a fear being there is good because it keeps you alert and all that, but this was deeper. I had never been even pushed by anything. And I actually had bruises in the spots where the 5 fingers were for about a week after. At that point, I started having an obsession with the location. I got into doing a bunch of research on it. I walked the whole property multiple times. I was going to that location about 3 to 4 nights a week for about 3 months straight. We had lots of things. We always had evidence when we were there. We had one time we left we were doing a EVP in the barn, and this barn, there's holes in the roof. There's no doors. And there's background noise too with the traffic. So there's no way you could get an auditorium effect on a recording. Well, at the time I was listening to a song where the lyrics are, "The city looks so pretty, do you want to burn it with me?" And the person that I was doing the investigation with was trying to provoke a little bit. And he's like, "Oh, we're going to tear this down and turn it into a parking lot." And then he's like, he was doing the line of, "The city looks so pretty." And I finished it with, "Do you want to burn it with me?" And right after I said, "Do you want to burn it with me?" in the silence, we heard multiple voices like they were in an auditorium saying, "Burn it down." We had another time that someone was provoking, which I have never liked people provoking any sort of spirits. So I do not condone that. These are when these instances happened. But we were in the basement, and he was provoking, and my cousin and I were at the bottom of the stairs. And the back door and the top of the stairs are very close together. And we literally heard heavy boot steps, as if they were frustrated and angry, stomping from the back door to the top of the stairs, and we put our flashlights up and no one was there. Yeah, that one we sat down there for a little while, making sure no one was up there. Well, there's actually a way out of the basement besides those stairs, and we watched from the garage. We've had orbs. We've actually had where we were doing an EVP session over the walkie-talkie. So we had 2 people in the barn and 2 people in the second floor of the house. And I forget what the question was, but all of a sudden, us 2 that were in the house started smelling fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. Like, clear as day, they're in the oven. They are chocolate chip cookies. But there's no electrical in this house. There's no appliances, no furniture, no nothing. It's gutted. And it was just the weirdest thing. We had another time we were upstairs, and Um, oh, that one. What was that? Sorry, I get random brain farts sometimes. Brain fart. And a munchkin who likes to repeat things. Fart, fart, brain fart.
Let's take a moment and let her regain her thoughts. But I believe she was around the area she was talking about uh, the walkie-talkie EMF rating or something like that.
The EVP with the walkie-talkies.
EVP, yeah. I believe that's where she was leaving off at,
With
or where she got lost at.
two people at the bottom, two people up top.
Yep. I believe that's where she was leaving. I believe that's the story that she was going off of. Does that ring a bell, Queen? But I believe that she's also dealing with a munchkin, which we do apologize for this.
Yeah, she's
We
dealing
will.
with little kiddos.
Yes, we cannot 100% handle the children. The children are menaces.
Queen, are you
I
good?
won't call them what I normally call them.
Shitheads, assholes. Which ones are we talking about? All the above.
Goblins?
Yeah, the
Ooh.
best one.
No. I think I had the best one. Fuck trophies.
That's the other one I call them.
You can thank my drill sergeant for that. Oh yeah, speaking of military, and for all of those of you who are watching who do not know, I am officially not deploying.
Cool. So you're gonna be able to stick around. Nice.
Yes, I will be here. I will not be taking no hiatus from the podcast. I will be here. I am not going overseas, and honestly, thank goodness. I don't know honestly what I would do if I did, because Jesus Murphy, I freak out sometimes just leaving my family for 2-3 hours or 8 hours for work. Let alone being gone for 3 to 9 months.
All right, Miss Queen, are we ready to jump back into your story?
Yeah. So I already said the walkie-talkie one.
Mm-hmm.
I
think that's where you left off.
We had another. Yeah. We had one time we had one person that was kind of on the stairs to go up to the second level, and the rest of the group was in the room right by the stairs, so we could still see him. He could still record and stuff. And I had right by my arm a little white light or presumed orb kind of go down right by my arm and then fly off, and my hand is actually following the path of the orb. Like I felt something there. We had that on video, which was really interesting to see. My God, the cat just almost fell off her shelf. But there got to be a point where we were in December at about this point, and it was a very mild winter, so it was easy being out in the cold and stuff. But we hit a point where if I wasn't at the barn or at the farmhouse, I didn't feel safe. I'd go into almost like anxiety attack. And when I was at the barn, I felt that like uneasy safeness. That's the easiest way to explain it. But it had turned into an obsession. And there would be points we'd be there doing stuff and I'd wander off, kind of black out for a couple minutes and just be in a different room from everyone else. It came up with my significant other at the time about how he was uncomfortable with me being there, and if we wanted to try to have kids, that wouldn't be safe for the baby, which I agree. So at Christmas, I had told him that if I were to get pregnant, I would stop ghost hunting completely. And this is kind of one of the trigger warning spots. I ended up a week and a half later starting to feel like I was pregnant. And it ended up January 9th of 26, or I get the year mixed up sometimes. 2014. I ended up losing that baby. And I ended up having to go to my doctor after because I couldn't move my upper body. It had strained all of the muscles running along both sides of my spine. And it felt like something had been ripped out of my body. And it wasn't a coincidence. Like, at that point, I was already questioning going back and stuff because things started feeling off. I started finding poems I had written that I refused to let anyone else see, and when I went back to reread them, they were cries for help that I don't remember writing. And more of the cries for help, like something doesn't feel right, something's around me not letting go. But I had already started to suspect some of this. I was already starting to go less often. And I had had the talk about not going ever again. So that was a turning point. Like I believe I had been under an oppression and it was trying to do that kind of final break because of how much I did want to have kids. And then, if it happened, then I wouldn't be going there anymore. That connection wouldn't be there that it had put in. So I think that was its trying to do a final break. But about a month later, on February 6th, I was coming home from Walmart at about 12:30 at night. And my parents' house is about 3 miles off the freeway. So to get home, I had to get off the freeway and drive past this farmhouse. And I was going to attempt to do a cleansing that night when I got home. And I remember, like, I was wide awake. I wasn't tired at all. I got to the top of the off ramp, and then the next thing I remember is about quarter to a half a mile from on the other side of the property, my front tire hit the slushy gravel on the side of the road, and I had no control left of the car. I had a 2004 Crown Vic Police Interceptor with a reinforced bar. I ended up pushing that thing in 2 feet. And I don't believe that's a coincidence either, because I was wide awake right before, right after. I had to be right by the farmhouse. And the fact that I was going home to try and do a little bit of cleansing on myself, like, just none of it felt like a coincidence. So I still did the cleansing that night anyways. But this is something I still deal with. There's a lot of different emotions that go into different parts of this. I still have to go past that location almost every day for my job, sometimes multiple times a day. That draw is still there. Like, that energy is still trying to draw me back. There was a lot of darkness with all of that. And I mean, like, I know Guardian can attest. Like, I get nervous even in voice call when I'm in voice calls, that when I go past there, I get anxious. I get nervous. And you're looking at this was 10 years ago. There's bits of that energy that are still with me that I'm still trying to cleanse away. But, you know, doing a lot of this stuff when you're inexperienced and don't have someone experienced guiding you, because I was the most, well, in some ways, I was the most experienced with my knowledge, and even that was not nearly experienced enough. The first time we thought that there was bad energy there, we should have left it alone. We didn't. But when you mess with something that is unexplained and you don't know exactly what you're doing, you don't know how to do cleansings or protections properly, there's real life consequences. And sometimes it's little minor things, and other times it can be big ones like mine. There are people who have had it a lot worse than mine, and it's not fun to have to deal with.
Now, I have a question for anyone like, this is like me speaking on behalf of all the mutual thinkers that I'm probably about to say. what advice would you give someone that's looking into start investigating the paranormal or investigating the supernatural in any way, shape, or form?
Is that everyone or just Queen?
More directed towards Queen. But if anybody wants to, like, after she's finished, if anybody else wants to kind of add on to, then by all means.
I'd like to speak after she's done.
I'll go after him.
Okay. So before you get started, contact someone who is experienced or do your best to get mentoring help from them. Do as much research as you can, and if you think you've done enough, you have not. It's not a fun and games thing. Like, yeah, it looks all fun and stuff, and it definitely can be fun, but like with anything, you have to have the necessary precautions to be able to have that fun safely. And that's one thing that gets very overlooked with ghost hunting. I am myself partly guilty of that. Whereas, yes, I did the research. I didn't do enough research. I never reached out to people who would know more. I just did things as I researched them. Like, definitely research and having people around you that can mentor you. Because you got to be safe while you do this. Okay, Guardian.
Okay. Now, I don't know I don't know how many of us have experience. I can just speak on my behalf. But as someone that has ghost hunted for the past, God, basically all my life because I've lived in a lot of haunted places, um, always make sure that you are secure in your beliefs. And if you go in as a skeptic, you're not going to get a lot. And sometimes you can even wind up gaining possessions, attachments, stuff like that. They can wind up pushing a point where it could be so much problem that it can basically do what it did to Queen, cause all those issues until you're able to get cleansed. And it's all about how you protect yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. All right, Fallen.
You called on me as I was taking a drink. um, my biggest advice is what you know, like what you see on YouTube and the TV shows like Ghost Hunters and shit like that. 95% of that is fake. 100% that shit's fake. Usually it's rigged and shit like that. So don't sit here and watch a bunch of YouTubers and shit like that who are just chasing clout and think, oh, they did it, they got this, so I'm going to do the same thing, and then it end up just not working, and it completely backfiring and screwing you over. Make sure if you are getting equipment, make sure you are getting real equipment. So like temperature gauges that when they detect a certain temperature drop, they'll send out a signal to your camera to take that picture. Shit like that. Shit that actually makes sense to have. Yeah. And if you really want to get into it, look into the Warrens. I know everybody should know the name the Warrens. They're the ones who did the whole Annabelle stuff. That everything you've seen in those movies are based on real events. Go through their life if you want to learn a lot about ghost hunting and shit. They've dealt with mostly the bad shit, but go through their life. They know what the hell they're doing. But yeah, that's all I got.
If I can put my kind of last bit of like advice to the people listening and watching live, be 1,100% sure that you are mentally prepared for what is going to get thrown at you if you try to do this. If you try to ghost hunt, your mind will get played with in many more ways than you ever thought it could be played with. The mind games are undeniably insane. You will drive yourself insane, if not, the spirits will. So make sure that you are 10,000% sure that you are emotionally and mentally ready for the challenges that you are about to throw yourself into.
And I'll throw onto this. It doesn't. Yes, you need to be as mentally strong and physically strong as you possibly can for this task. But at the same time, you're not going to be ready. It doesn't matter. Yes, it will help a lot, but there will still be moments where you're like freaking out. What the fuck do I do? The more mentally prepared you are, the least worse it's going to be, but it will get to you.
I think I'm gonna take this nice old fiery smoky blunt and give it to
Yeah, say I
Guardian.
believe somebody put into the YouTube chat again to do another blinker.
Yep,
It does not.
Mrs.
Uh-uh.
Mrs.
Oh
Sophie.
no, Sophie, you motherfucker.
And
Oh,
hang on, how many
oh,
how many viewers are we on Twitch right now?
2. We literally just dropped from 5.
I
Yeah,
have 4 on my side.
Okay,
What the hell
6
happened to all the
seconds.
chatters? Oh no. Okay, so you're actually doing it.
Chat, we're about to hear him die yet again.
Oh, I was the last one to say blinker.
No, Sophie.
No, Soapy.
What? I can't even see the fucking chat now. What the fuck's going on?
Life.
There it is.
Fuck.
Oh.
I want to give a shout out real quick while
Soapy did it.
Guardian's doing his blinker. I want to give a shout out to Crispy Rice with the very kind comment on the YouTube side. He says, "Congrats on the new podcast, guys. Hope all goes well for you. Excited to see what comes next." Crispy, we severely fucking appreciate you, man. We hope
yeah.
we hope you guys are enjoying the podcasts. We are currently sitting on 4 likes, so that is obviously saying that you guys are liking the podcast and the live the live episodes. So we will most definitely be continuing to do the live episodes on both Twitch and YouTube. Hopefully soon enough we can get the Twitch channel live.
Yes, if I can figure out how to fucking make it work. It is my streaming software is being a royal pain in the ass. So that's why we're still streaming on my Twitch at the moment, because I'm not able to get it to work for the actual podcast Twitch.
Alright, I'm alive. Damn you, Soapy. Okay. So we're gonna give some shout outs here. We're looking at Soapy, of course. Thank you for coming in. Kio Wingo, is it K Wingo, or I'm not sure how to
Kiwio?
pronounce that. Yeah, thank you for
Kiwio.
coming in. Crispy Rice, that is an amazing comment there. I don't know if you're still watching, but I appreciate you coming in. Thank you so very much. And everyone on the Twitch side.
Yes. Mom, or well, Momanda. Thank you. Miss Hunter 1919 Hunter. I'm sorry. That's my sister. That is the weirdest fucking username ever. Chris, thank you for hopping in for a little bit, and the rest of them's you. Yeah, and whoever the hell this Mark Adkins guy is on the YouTube chat. What a weirdo.
But I want to thank every single one of y'all. And for the Twitch side of things, Fallen, I would like you to raid out to Soapy the Death Knight.
I will figure out how to do that
Just do /raid and then
momentarily. Oh, I can just do that in the chat through Stream Element? Oh.
Does he?
I did not know
/raid.
that.
Does he just need his username or his actual?
It's /raid and then just his username.
Okay. I will definitely do that.
I want to do one final thing, if that's okay, if we're thinking about wrapping up. I know it's a little early, but
yeah, we still got 20 minutes.
I have one more thing, but I'm just getting us prepped.
Okay.
Second.
But I'll allow you to say what you got to say, but I have a message for our people.
Okay. If it is okay with you, Mr. Guardian, I would like to give the wonderful people that are joining us tonight a sneak peek of another one of the TheChillHut's songs that have been created. If that will be okay with you.
Which one are we thinking?
So the one I am thinking of right now would be Clouds in My Mind.
Yeah, let's you can go ahead and play that, because yes, that is something that we haven't played on the YouTube side.
Or Twitch side. I did not get to that.
So we can play that on both sides. So yeah, we can do that.
Just wanted to make sure.
You ready?
Mr. Guardian, didn't you want to add one more thing? Or do one more thing before we started doing the stuff?
We still have some time. My final speech will come after the music.
Okay. So, chat, let's just give you guys a chat and everybody watching this in the future.
Yeah.
What we are about to show you guys is Clouds in My Mind by the one and only Guardian. He has been banging out some music for the Chill Hut podcast for you guys to enjoy. Um, we will go ahead and give you a little
1 second.
sneak peek here. While this is playing out, if anybody needs, this will be a great time. Anybody, if you need to go take a pee, take a drink, do whatever you need to go do, take 5. I feel like this is a good time to go do so.
Yes. And just to kind of reiterate a little bit, all of the music that you hear the half hour before the podcast like officially starts, where we start talking, all of that has been created by Guardian. All of that has been created by him. He is doing wonderful on busting those out. So
Thank you. I
yes.
tried my best.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and cue up Clouds in My Mind, and we will be back with you guys momentarily. Alrighty, everybody. Back from our little break. Hope you guys enjoyed the little song. Song to me was amazing. Guardian, you fucking killed it.
Yes. This fool is phenomenal. Wait until he starts actually singing on this shit.
Listen, that's a.
Sorry, I just spoiled the thing.
20,000 likes, I will.
20. You hear
Yeah,
it here
bullshit.
first, folks.
Shit.
20,000 likes, and he will sing his own lyrics.
50. 50 likes.
20,000.
You said 20,000, man. 20,000.
20,000.
Don't let him lie to you. We're working on it.
But ladies and gentlemen of the Chill Hut.
It's out there now, Guardian. You gotta do it.
No. Ladies and gentlemen of the Chill Hut. I'm sad and with a heavy heart to state this, but this is our last call for the night. Glasses are empty. The bags are gone. The blunts are nothing but ash. I want to tell every single one of you Everyone that we've given a shout out so far, we appreciate every single one of y'all. If it wasn't for y'all being here, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. We sit there and we give as much as we can to y'all. And if y'all continue to like what we're producing, we'll keep doing what we're doing. But from the bottom of everyone's heart here at the Chill Hut, even though the taps are dry and the weeds out, we'll see you next week with better supply and longer lasting. And we may have a surprise or two within the works for next week. Keep an eye out for the Chill Hut TikTok. We will be announcing on there at from now on at Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will have our topic or the guest selection or both. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. Also, we're working on getting an Instagram page, a Twitter page, and as we stated before, getting the Chill Hut podcast actual Twitch up and running. But we're shutting down. Everyone say good night.
Everybody
We're
have a
telling
great
you
night.
not to go. We can't make you to go home, but you can't stay here. And let's play Clouds on Our Mind on the way out as we raid Sophie the Death Knight.
Clouds on our
And
mind coming
hold on,
right
hold
up.
on, hold on,
Okay.
real quick. It is /raid, and then is it
Space,
base,
then username.
then username. And I just put that in chat, and it should work, right?
Yes.
Alrighty, I am going to, and we are playing.
Clouds
We're
on my
playing the
mind.
same song.
Yeah.
Playing it again.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. I figured we'd play like Chill Hut Rises or something.
No, let's hold on to that one.
I mean, they've already heard it on my stream.
Yeah.
But alrighty. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
It shakes my chest. I'll take a drag. Forget the rest.